It is the 12th of October, and I'm walking up this old ATV trail because I want to see if I can find any hen of the wood mushrooms. Found quite a few of them so far this year, and I expect to find at least some today. I'd be very surprised if I didn't, let's just put it that way. So, right here's a good spot to cut into the woods. I'll just walk around for a bit, and whenever I find some, or if I find something worth talking about, then I'll just start recording again. Yeah, these aren't hen of the wood mushrooms, but they look pretty cool. Pretty cool little guys growing here on this old stump. There's some fresher ones down here. Let me take some close-up video. Maybe I can identify them. Let me get a good shot of the cap. Yeah, I'm not gonna like take these back or anything and do a spore print. I don't really care too much about what they are. I just like how they look. I've always liked little mushrooms like this. And right here, not too far from the stump, is a weird little guy. I think this is some kind of Lactarius. Maybe this might even be in the Lactiflus genus. It definitely smells like a milk mushroom. Does it have milk? It's got a little bit of latex. We'll just let him go. I'm not too concerned about identifying him. While I'm recording now, I may as well, I'm in a pretty good area to start talking about hen of the woods mushrooms. Oh look, red russula. The best place, like the best trees to start searching for are these old oak trees, and I think this might be a red oak. So I found them around red oak. There's nothing wrong with that. But I've had better success, at least here in central Pennsylvania, I've had better success with white oak. And especially like the older ones. I've even found them on or like around, like right at the base of old stumps. So either trees that have been cut down or trees that, you know, broke off. I found them right there at the base of the stumps. So they must be, I honestly don't know if they're parasitic. I don't know if they're like mycorrhizal. I think they might start out as like mycorrhizal and, you know, like a mutually beneficial, I scratch your back, you scratch my back arrangement with a tree. But if the tree happens to die for whatever cause, they can still grow off of the buried wood for the root system and the actual like stump itself, so they will break down organic matter, especially wood. So there's definitely, I think that's probably later on in their life cycle. Maybe that's whenever the mushroom kind of realizes that it's not got much time left, because sooner or later it's going to use up all the nutrients from that tree. So I think that's why they put out huge fruiting bodies whenever they're not growing beside a live tree, just because they know they don't really have, their days are numbered basically. So they put out huge bunches of these hen of the woods mushrooms. So yeah, right up here, let's walk over here. Here's a good one. I actually wore shorts today instead of my briar-proof jeans. Kind of regretting that right now, but yeah, I'll be all right. Right here, see the size of this tree right here? It's a big old boy. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is a red oak. Let me see. Come on, focus on the leaves. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's a red oak, because I think the red oaks have these pointed leaves, and the white oaks have, you know, they look almost identical, but the white oaks have like a more rounded edges on the leaves. But you see how this right here has this wound in it? That's actually a pretty good sign to start searching for hens. And like I said, they're not, very seldomly I will find them, I will find hen of the woods like on the base of the tree, like growing out like right here. But more often than not, I find them like right here. They would be growing maybe about a foot away. I'm assuming they must grow mostly on the the root system. That's why I think they're mycorrhizal. I'll fact check that before I come to any definitive conclusion. You can see some honey mushrooms growing here. I've kind of honey mushroomed myself out for now. I probably ate like 3 pounds in the past week and a half, 2 weeks, so I'm just kind of done with them for now. All right, well, I think that's enough boring mumbo jumbo for the time being. I'm gonna turn off my camera and just walk around and see what I can find. This is one of my favorite times to hunt wild mushrooms, is during like fall, especially early fall. But it also is kind of a pain in the butt because, you know, fall, the leaves start turning colors and dropping off. And I'll tell you why. I've been doing this for 31 years and I still get fooled by these freaking leaves that look like mushrooms all the time, dude. So don't get discouraged if you think that you see a bunch of mushrooms up ahead of you and you get up there and realize they're just leaves. Dude, that happens to everybody who hunts mushrooms, okay? Just want to throw that out there. Here's a good example of what I mean about freaking mushrooms just blending in with the leaves. Oh, I hear turkey. The tree is just absolutely covered with these, I think they're polypores. And it also has a little bunch of, I don't think it's a tree air fungus. But let's see. Are these polypores? They are not polypores. Nope. They have smooth undersides. Yeah, there's some kind of crust fungus then, probably. That's pretty neat. I just think it's cool how it's like covered almost all of the bottom of the part of this tree. I have to admit, fine, I'll just hold you. I've never found a mushroom like this before. Growing on the side of a fallen tree. It has pores on the underside, but it has a stalk. It's very woody. You couldn't really eat this. But the top is very, very velvety. It's really neat. There's a couple here growing. Looks like it's growing on an old birch tree. Yeah, it's pretty neat looking. Is that the same thing? Yeah, it's fuzzy too on top. This one's just concave. This one's convex. Huh. I don't know. But they're neat. Well, I said I'm kind of all honey mushroomed out, but look at these. This is actually really, these are really nice fruiting of them. Wow. Look at those. I think I will get some of these ones. They're really pretty. Nice. I see a couple false puffballs in different states of development. Here's one. You can see it's very expectant of what you would find whenever you find a pigskin poison puffball. But the big difference between earth balls like these and puffballs is that whenever a puffball matures and is ready to put out its spores, it just kind of cracks open and stays exactly like that, so that the spores can go, you know, like that. But earth balls, such as these ones on the stump, which are older examples, these just break open, and it's almost, yeah, these just break open and they collect water, and it's just a ball full of spores. That's all they are. I just thought that was kind of neat. I hope you can see the water in this one too. You can hear them sawing trees down about 300 yards from where I'm at, so you'll probably hear that in the background. But yeah, you see how that just kind of splits open and lets the rain come down and go floop and then splash it out so that it comes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like how they do that. More freaking honey mushrooms, dude. They are just out everywhere this year. There's some over there too. Tell you what though, these ones right here, these are really super young and fresh, so I'm taking these ones with me because these will have a really good texture. Fresh honey mushrooms like this taste like really good versions of store-bought mushrooms, like portobellos and stuff. They have a really nice texture to them whenever they're this size. They're really good whenever they're like those over there, but these are just so much better. So I'm taking this little bunch with me, and if I find any more that are in this state of development, then I'll take them too. Here's a really good example of why you need to be pretty well versed before you get any wild mushrooms. A lot of people would probably mistake these for honey mushrooms, which they most definitely are not. I don't know what they are exactly. I'll try to identify them and put the conclusion in the video at some point. But you can see these are similar yet very different in appearance. The gills are very similar. There's not a whole lot of difference in the gills, but the stalk is scaly and like furry, I mean like hairy almost. The top is mottled. It's pretty similar in color as far as like most of the cap, but these little warts or whatever you want to call them. Here, let me get a better one, this one. You can see they're not like little hairs, they're almost like little warts. There's no obvious ring, and they have like a very, like honey mushrooms can be almost white. These have a very yellowish tinge to them, so definitely do your research before going out. Yeah, they look really neat on the tree, but they're definitely not honeys. And like I said, I will try to identify them so that I can be a little more informative. And here's a little guy growing right here at the base of this really tall red oak, it looks like. So yeah, let me get this and go over here. The only one I've found today, and it's not a bad little bunch, but you can see they are polypores. They have all these little holes on the underside of the mushroom itself. That is the fertile surface. You can see this was growing right up, almost budded right up against that tree. It was pretty much touching that big oak tree. It's not the absolute freshest, but I'll tell you what, it's in pretty good shape. It's edible. It doesn't look buggy. Now, polypore mushrooms are usually, very tough and very woody, and these are definitely polypores, but these are softer, and these are very choice edibles. A lot of people will pay quite a bit of money for these. I'm just going to cook them up for myself. I'm not selling them or anything, but they're a really easy mushroom to identify too. There's not a whole lot of other species that might look like this. You can see they're like a brownish gray on top. They have like these little concentric growth circles. If this was a full circle, it would be concentric rings of growth. They rise up from the stalk and kind of radiate outward and get bigger as they grow. The underside should be pure white. It might have a very slight like cream color, like just that, slight off-white color. But this is a really nice little example. So all I wanted to do today was find a nice little example of hen of the wood mushrooms for the video, and I was able to do that. So now I guess this is a good time to end. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please share, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.